Hello, it's 10 o'clock, October 6th. Welcome to the weather update. And a fairly gloomy day, clouds, but there was some breaks over Suffolk County for a little bit today. You can see on the satellite here, there definitely was some breaks. Very, humid day today. Show you what the sky looked like when we did have that break. I mean, because I left here in Mineola, it was overcast. But uh, when I got to Babylon, we had these cirrus clouds and some blue sky. You can see some more of that there. And sort of like what it looked like at the lake. You can see the clouds here and then the blue sky off to the left. And then later on, you can see again as it got toward Nassau, the clouds started coming back. And tonight we have a lot of low stratus clouds, low-hanging stratus clouds you can see that are over us. But no, I was worried about fog or drizzle. But luckily that and the showers more or less stayed to the west. There was some showers off to our west today as well. But looking at the satellite, you can see this is Phillipe, or what was Phillipe, because I went to the Hurricane Center and apparently they've taken it off the map. I don't know why, because there's still a storm here. I don't know what the heck what happened there. They just decided to not. This is a storm over here. It's still blowing up, so I don't understand why they're not considering this a system. So I don't get it. We'll look at Phillipe right now. Caribbean. Can't really get a good view of it from here. Let's see. Go to U.S. Atlantic coast. I mean, yeah, this is still something that is going to be an issue for Canada. And you can see there's still convection here. So I don't know why they decided not to see the bright white colors. There's still convection. So I don't know why they decided to drop updates. But you see, go to the Hurricane Center. There are no more Phillipe updates here. Nothing. So they've taken it away. Looking at the MODIS satellite, here's our slow-moving frontal system right here. You clearly see it. It's another slow-moving frontal system, folks. I know it's not going to move through quickly because we never seem to get fronts that move through quickly anymore. See, this would be Phillipe. I guess it's looking a little more extratropical. I guess they felt, but I still think it has some tropical characteristics to it. But this is our cold front here, and looking at the radar here, you'll see rain, which it doesn't look all that impressive, the rain that's here, but the models seem to maybe want to tap into some of the moisture from this system, which may enhance the rainfall. You can see there is a straight shower over northeastern New Jersey, and that's where they've been most of the day. Northeastern New Jersey, some over New York City, the Jersey Shore, but other than that, nothing, not much for Long Island. And you can see there's some really cold air waiting in the wings here. Look at these frost and freeze warnings in the Midwest here. So we got freeze warnings and frost warnings around that. That says there's much colder air coming in. Meanwhile, red flag warnings in the south because it's going to be dry and windy. And for us, yes, flood watch for tomorrow. Another soaker for Saturday. I know it's really ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. But you can see in this area right here where it's cold, you got 38 degrees here. So they're going to probably go below freezing. But going into our area, you'll see here the flood watch, and then over here, yep, we've got high surf advisories for New England here, and gale watches for parts of Maine as well that are up now as they deal with the remnants of Phillipe, Phillipe. I don't know. I still think it's just be called Phillipe at this point, but anyway, you can see it's a really muggy night tonight. Temperatures around 70 degrees. Very high humidity. Dew points up there at 66 degrees. So this is the moisture that's going to obviously bring in the more rain again for us. Looking at what the day was like at Islip, you'll see today generally was cloudy. Temperatures only in the 70s and generally humid across the area. So we got that flood watch, Nassau County, Hudson Valley, northeast New Jersey. Let's go to our highs for the day. And across Long Island, generally mid-70s, though out east, low 70s. Maybe upper 70s in Jersey, where there was maybe a little bit more sun. The lows probably didn't drop off that much at night, yeah. Mid-60s was all we had for lows at night, and even upper 60s in New Jersey. So, yeah, it's a pretty warm air mass. So let's go over our climate statistics for the day. No ice slip. High of 76, normal high 68, that's 8 degrees above normal. The low of 64, however, was 13 degrees above normal. It's supposed to have a low of 51. So that gives us a mean 11 degrees above normal. Let's look at Central Park. Uh, they were 71 degrees, very, very limited temperature range. 71 for a high, which was 3 degrees above normal. 67, which is well above normal. That's 12 degrees above normal for a low. So mild night puts us 7 degrees above normal for the day. We'll look at Newark as well. 11 degrees above normal for the day. So there is a briefing on this. We've got a flood watch. Let's go on the latest briefing because it's another Saturday soaker on the way here. Yep, they've upped the rainfall amounts here in the flood watch area. Widespread 1.5 to 2.5 inches of rain likely, with localized 3 to 4 inches possible across portions of northeast New Jersey, New York City, lower Hudson Valley, southwest Connecticut, and western Long Island. Here we go again. Most of this rainfall will likely fall in a 6-hour period between 4 a.m. and 2 p.m. For eastern Long Island and southeast Connecticut, 1/2 to 1 inch totals likely. Rainfall rates of 1/4 to 1/2 inch an hour, but locally 1 to 2 inches per hour across the watch area. Flash flood impacts. Isolated instances of flash flooding of urban and poor drainage, low-lying areas, as well as along quick-responding rivers, streams, and creeks are likely, and scattered instances possible if and where the heaviest rainfall rates develop. There could be locally significant flooding causing disruption to transportation, flooding basements, first floors of residences, and underground infrastructure, and posing an elevated threat to life. So river and stream impacts, minor flood levels are likely to be exceeded along several quick-responding small streams and rivers. If the 3 to 4 inch rainfall area does develop across these quick streams, there could be a rivers and flood stage. Ocean beach erosion. An east to west sweep of 5 to 9 feet breaking surf will result in ocean beach erosion and escarpment tonight through Sunday morning. Localized dune erosion is possible during times of high tide. Due to the saturated soils and stream flow running at 75 inches to 95%, 75 to 95th percentile, flash flood impacts are expected to be triggered quicker. So, because the ground is already saturated, you can see they've put us in a slight risk for flash flooding here. And this is the rainfall map. And you can see it's going to be a band again, just like the last time, and it's going to sit there. And right now they think it's going to be over New York City into the Hudson Valley. Suffolk County won't really get into it, but it could be New York City into the Hudson Valley. And so this is not what we need. We've had enough of this rain, and every Saturday it's been just stubborn. It's ridiculous, is what it is. It really is. So let's jump on over to the models here, and you'll see here, looking at the GFS here, and I'll keep it on this layout here. You can see there's what was Phillipe. I'm going to still refer to it as, maybe I'll call it post Phillipe here. You can see that is moving due north here. That's not going to impact our area, but it is going to impact Maine and Nova Scotia, especially into Sunday. You can see some heavy rain and wind there. But for us, you can see there's a little bit of a moisture feed that might come off of that, and that might enhance the rainfall. And you can see, again, we just have these slow-moving frontal systems that come through. It's never a quick and easy front. And the reason why is, if we go look at the jet stream here, it's the way the jet stream is shaped. I mean, look at it. I mean, it's got a weird shape to it. I mean, it's just, it's a very narrow trough, so that means a slow-moving system. The jet stream is just weak, and things just don't move along like they're supposed to. So let's take a look at the HRRR here, 0Z run of the HRRR, which we have fully in here. And we'll start with this, I guess. And you'll see those showers tonight. And then here you go, showers and thunderstorms. A band of them setting up over the area much of the day tomorrow. And then another batch of rain comes in, maybe toward the evening. It doesn't really stop raining until after 6 o'clock. Maybe if we're lucky, it'll stop raining earlier. But right now, that looks like quite a bit of it could be quite a soaker there, where those showers and thunderstorms line up. You can see that New York City, Nassau County area, generally speaking. And then as we get to Sunday, improving weather, though there could still be a sprinkle or two in Connecticut. There's going to be some instability late in the afternoon that might result in problems. Total accumulated precipitation on the HRRR, and you can see this is the problem that we have. So there's going to be a band where there's 2+ inches right over the areas that were hit the last time. And that's the problem that we're going to have to watch out for. I know it's ridiculous. It really is. And, I'm disgusted too. All right. So let's go to look at the dew points here. We'll go to the dew points and we'll show you the humidity here that's feeding this in. So you can see that high humidity there that's feeding in southeast winds here. And you see there's the front coming through. And it will come through in the afternoon. You'll see the dew points drop as we get into the afternoon. So maybe it'll shut off the rain early. One can hope. Maybe at least your evening can be dry. But most of the day you're going to have rain. And then the dry area builds in for Sunday, very gustily westerly winds and much cooler temperatures. So looking at the temperatures here, which go over, we're going to be mild and muggy tonight, staying that way for a good part of tomorrow as well, until we get toward the afternoon, 4 or 5 o'clock. That's when things drop, and it's going to turn colder. Temperatures drop into the 40s, and then Sunday we're struggling to reach the low 60s. It's going to be much, much, much colder for your Sunday. So let's go to the some other models here. We'll go to the NAM 12. We actually have 28 of this, so this is actually good. So this should give us at least most of tomorrow. So we'll go to the NAM 12 here, and you'll see where that band sets up. And again, that's where that band is. You see that band there? And then you can see more rain pops up in the evening. So it may not, like I said, it may just learn to linger around. Everything's, moving very, very slowly. That's the problem that we have. If we look at the NAM's total accumulated precip here, you can see again, it's got that same area with the heavier rain. Let's go to the NAM 3, which we have 24 hours in already. It's the NAM 3 also showing where that heavier rain is. It looks like it's a little further to the west, maybe over northeast New Jersey. And you'll see there's that rain. You can see it's still, here we are, it's still raining at 8 o'clock. And NAM is much slower with moving this out of the way. You can see, look at that heavy. It sets it up over New Jersey over there. That's where it sets it up. It all depends on where this band sets up. It really is ridiculous. I'm going to look at this for a minute as well. This is the F-Gen. All right, so this kind of shows you where the lift is in the atmosphere. And you can see, again, that area right there. So New Jersey could get the worst of it this is the NAM right here, right near. There's a lot of offshore. Luckily, this is offshore, but that looks pretty bad. I'll go to the GFS now, and you'll see the same thing here. GFS, you can see, it does, as it moves east, it weakens. You see that? It does weaken as it moves east. All right. Another thing we'll look at as well is this, showing you, again, the dark greens, and you can see those dark greens. Though, again, the dark greens seem to be to the east. That's what I'm not quite understanding here. It does push the dark greens to the east, which makes things a little unfavorable, at least for some of the heavier rain. But there may be just enough moisture and lift from the cold front itself to force the air up, as we saw with the F-Gen. So, and you see that much drier air moving in for Sunday. So let's look at the GF total accumulation on the GFS here. Total rainfall accumulation. Again, got that same look. And further up north, it's going to be even worse. I mean, it's ridiculous. You'll see there's an area that won't get much rain at all. Maybe the east end might get very little. But we're going to get pounded here in the western part of Long Island, probably. So it's sort of a look at the models with this next rain system that we got to deal with, which, I'm not looking forward to. I'll go to the Icon as well as the Icon model as well. So they all seem to agree now on what's going to happen here. See, there's that heavy, heavy rain. This is the remnants of Phillipe here coming into and socking Maine with a lot of rain. So they're going to have some flooding up there. And if you look at the total accumulation precip on this, go back, you can see some of these areas here are going to get over 3 inches. Maybe some areas could see 5 inches of rain from this, because it's got a hybrid. It's a hybrid type of system. You know what I'm saying? So let's go to the RGM. We'll look at the skies. I mean, I'm not really going to spend too much time with the skies. Obviously, we're not seeing the sun tomorrow, but Sunday we should have some sun, but there may be some pop-up cumulus clouds, particularly in the afternoon. We'll have to watch for. That might wind up popping up. Less of that on Monday, probably, though it is showing a little bit of cirrus maybe moving through on Monday. That's the RGM. But, we'll talk about the skies, I think, tomorrow night. I want to focus more on the rain threat for tomorrow because I'm concerned about it. Let's go to the Ventu sky, and we're going to look at Cape as well for tomorrow. Move this over to tomorrow. You can see there is Cape over New Jersey and New York City here, so could some of these storms be strong, perhaps? You can see it weakens as it moves its way east, and then kind of dissipates by 5 o'clock. You can see this is the front right here, 5 o'clock. But yeah, it kind of dissipates as it moves to the east. You can see that, but there is some Cape over here. Let's look at the lifted index as well. So some of these storms could be on the strong, there could be decent thunderstorms possible in these areas. Probably no severe, but there is lifted index, and that's enough to promote thunderstorms to heavy rain. And again, because of weak winds aloft, these storms won't be moving along all that quickly. If we go to wind speed here, and I actually could take this aloft. Let's see what we got here. Can I move this aloft? I can move this aloft. Okay. Yeah, let's take a look at the jet stream here. All right, so we do have strong winds, but you see they're from the south. That's not going to help move a front through. That's the problem. That's why this front is moving so slow. Look at 500 HPA as well. You can see that. So that's why this front is not in any really huge rush to move through. And you see there could be some gusts with the actual front when it comes through. Some of these showers could have some wind gusts up there, perhaps. Though obviously the worst of the winds are going to be out over the ocean with what's left of Phillipe here. And you can see, actually, it's showing Phillipe on here. So it's weird that the Hurricane Center kind of took it away. Let's see if, Phillipe's been, I don't know, whatever. It's still showing Phillipe on here. But this is what's left of it. This is the winds field here for tomorrow. And this, again, this uses the HRRR model. And you can see the strong winds that could be impacting parts of Nova Scotia. So they're going to have some pretty stormy conditions over there. Look at that, some wind gusts into the 60s possible. So there probably will be power outages and flooding over there and that area between flooding and, of course, beach erosion as well. Because if we look at these waves here, you'll see, look at that, 15-footer waves. And that we're looking at Saturday night here. For us, 9-footers. It won't be too bad. The worst of the effects from Phillipe are going to be felt well to our east, at least. So we won't have to worry too much about that, but there will be some rough oceans. The main threat is going to be that flash flooding threat. It's not going to be good. We'll go and look at windy.com as well. So this is the European model. So you can see this kind of shows you Phillipe here. And this shows you the cold front again for tomorrow. So this is 5 p.m. You can see the cold front where there could be some wind gusts with this cold front coming through. And like I said, it could be accompanied by a heavy shower or a thunderstorm. You can see the winds actually pick up more as the front moves east. You can see that. So yeah, it's slow moving though. You see that. As far as Phillipe goes, this is what Phillipe is doing here. Well, what's left of Phillipe, at least Philippe's remnants. 53-mile-an-hour wind gusts there. So, again, if you look at the waves, that's our concern here. And the European is more aggressive with the ocean as well. You can see waves up to 10 feet, perhaps, off the south shore of Long Island tomorrow night. And that's going to probably linger into at least part of Sunday. Yeah, it's going to linger into at least part of Sunday. You can see that. But worse waves on the Cape, obviously. Well, especially in the Gulf of Maine, so we're going to have worse. And then, of course, off Nova Scotia, you're going to have some pretty strong waves from this storm as well. So, yeah, I know. It's not great. It's not great. We can also use this to show you the rain as well on here. And you can see this is a very low-resolution type of deal here. But you can sort of see where the heavier rain, you can see it just doesn't move very quickly. It kind of just sits over the same area. It kind of dissipates it over Long Island. We'll have to see what happens tomorrow. It's hard to predict. It really is. We just don't know until it actually sets up where the heaviest rain is going to fall. But just be mindful that the potential for heavy rain is possible tomorrow. Once we're done with that, though, we'll have dry weather. Be rid of this rain for a while. So I think that's going to wrap up this weather update. Have a good night, and thank you for watching. And try to stay dry tomorrow. Let's hope that we don't get the worst of it. Hopefully, for some reason, it's less than it's supposed to be, and hopefully it doesn't linger around too long, and we can maybe get it out of here by 4 or 5 o'clock. That would actually be very nice, but it might just be too much to ask. So have a good night, and thank you for watching.